You know, we often hear about people who were vehemently against slavery or people who were vehemently for slavery. Sir William Young, he was the first baronet. He actually was the second baronet, right? His father was the first baronet. A baronet is basically the lowest hereditary title that you could get in Britain. You're really a commoner, but you could use the title of Sir, right? So the first baronet actually became the first non-military governor of Dominica. The second baronet, Sir William Young, he became second baronet when his father died in 1788, leaving him an encumbered estate of 4 plantations, 896 slaves. The 4 plantations, he had 1 in Antigua, I think 2 in St Vincent, and 1 in Tobago. So when he inherited this estate, it was so encumbered, he decided to go on a tour of all these estates and kind of understand the sugar industry in the region and kind of take stock of what it is that he actually inherited. He wrote a book about it, and his book was actually about this. He talked about the region and gave all that information, but the book kind of had this slant of, you know, slavery is not so bad. Like, my slaves treat me really well. They even hold festivals and balls in my honor. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. He actually thought that slavery would kind of peter out, like the idea of owning other people would kind of fall into disfavor and people would just kind of stop doing it on their own instead of necessarily having to abolish it, so to speak. So, you know, yeah. He became governor of Tobago in April 1807. And while he was here, he did a really in-depth detailed study into Tobago, wrote a report about it, which he had to present to Prince George IV, who was the Prince Regent. He presented that to him in 1813. When he died in Tobago, he seemed to have been really loved by the free people who were here, and they mounted like a kind of, plaque in his honor at what is now the St. Andrew's Anglican Church in Scarborough. He identified that there were about 16,000 enslaved people on the island of Tobago during his time. There were about 333 militia men, and there were about 1,000 free people. If you want more Tobago-friendly content like this, you know what to do.